Good morning. Hello, 6th grade science students. Today is Thursday, April 16th, if you've forgotten. I honestly losing track of days. So today, Thursday, April 16th, I'm going to be conducting Identifying Liquids Lab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the handout that I just posted in Google Classroom here a few minutes ago, and I'm going to conduct these tests. And then once you get a chance to look at the video, then I will fill in the bottom portion that you can't see of our data table, the identity of these 4 liquids that I have in front of you today. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is consider the melting point. So obviously that is the point I put these 4 unidentified materials, substances, into my deep freeze. And hopefully you can see at home, I have placed our thermometers into each of these beakers. So the current reading on substance number 1 is 5 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to write these. And I have your unit there. The temperature for liquid number 2 is also 5 degrees. In liquid 3, I want to note that this one never really did freeze. It is at a temperature of 9 degrees. And liquid number 4 is also one that struggled a little bit to freeze. It's more of kind of a slushy. I like slushies. That would be a good description of it. And this one is actually right about at 1 degree. Interesting. 1 degree. All right. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to simply remove these because we need to waft. Some of you may have heard it pronounced waft. I pronounce it waft. And simply what that is we never put our nose directly into the beaker of any unknown substance. And I want to point out that these are all 4 colorless liquids. So we waft. We get it close to our nose. 1, no odor. 2, definitely an odor. So I'm just going to put yes and no. So this one is definitely number 1 is none. This one is why yes. 3, yes. 4, no. So again, those are the why yes for number 3 and no or none for number 4. All right, moving on to the next thing is flammability. Everybody loves that one. So obviously what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I have my safety goggles on, I have my hair back, sleeves up, and hopefully you can see my candle here. Simply going to place this into each of the liquids. This is liquid 1. And again, we're going to see its flammability. So we're going to see if it catches fire. And you can tell that one. That's number 1, no. How about number 2? Place a portion of that. Try and get that paper saturated. And let's see what happens with number 2. Nothing. All right, moving on to liquid number 3. I know, disappointing so far, right? You know what's going to happen. Come on. Woo! Hopefully I don't set off my fire alarm in my house. I'm good. And number 4. You can't really clearly see, but it's trying. It kind of snuffs itself out. So we'll give that one a maybe. All right, so back to our data table. We have no. We had no. We had yes. Whoops. I can write why yes. And we're going to put yes, no. Because that one was a slightly. So YN for that one. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to conduct a solubility test. So I hope that you're noticing that this is a review and that we are talking about some of those properties that we've tested in the lab before we left on spring break. And so when we burn something, think about, is that a physical? Is that a chemical property? Think about what I've told you. Does it change the substance? So if I pour my contents, this was liquid 1 and 2. Did this change the paper? This is just paper. Okay? So was that a chemical? And then you can't see it. I'm just going to kind of point to it with my matchstick. This here, all this stuff down here, is ashes. That was number 3. So did a chemical or physical change occur? Again, our driving question this week is how do I determine if a chemical change or reaction has occurred? All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to check for solubility, and you're going to get a better image of that, a better visual of what those 3 substances are in the handout that I shared in Google Classroom. So we have salt, I just have salt, sugar, and I have corn oil. Obviously, it's made from corn, vegetable oil, combination of vegetables. Okay, safflower oil is another type of oil that's made from safflower seeds, so they're different. So what I've done before I got videoing this morning was I put just a teaspoon, a level teaspoon, plastic spoon of salt in each of the substances, and then I put sugar, and then I put oil, the corn oil. And I'm just going to quickly report because I don't have a lot of time on my video. That is one thing. I'm just stirring these, and I'll give you a visual. Obviously, if I had more time and I allowed these substances to sit here, we would have better results. And obviously, you would be seeing a lot of these results also if we were in the lab ourselves. So that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit of salt. This is salt in substance 1. Quite a bit of salt to the substance. So this is definitely dissolving. Again, if it has time, this is dissolving. Probably more than likely what's happened is I've super saturated it, meaning I've put so much salt or sugar or oil in these substances that it has done its job. This one, definitely we need to look at this one closer. The liquid is not distorted, it's not cloudy, as you can kind of see with these. And this one is discolored. This is with the salt. So my conclusion with this is that 1, 2, and 4 dissolve the salt. Sugar, same concept. 1, 2, nothing happened there. Number 3 is really unique. Okay, and we have some dissolving of sugar in, again, 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4 dissolved salt and dissolved sugar. All right, oil. Okay, we did some oil, and we used the liquid water before we left, and so we made some density columns. Okay, so I hope you're seeing here in number 1, it's floating on the top. Same in number 2, it's floating on the top. Number 3, dissolved oil. And number 4 is unique. There's a little blurb on the bottom. Hard to see, isn't it? A lot of it is still at the top, but there is a little blurb that you can't see from your vantage point that is on the bottom. So again, this is kind of a yes and a no. Kind of dissolved the corn oil and kind of did not. All right, so again, this is going to be really small. This is going to be a lot of Y's and N's, so I'm just going to summarize this for you. So number 1, I'm just putting check marks where it was dissolved. Again, we're checking for solubility, what is being dissolved. So salt and sugar was definitely done there. It was done in number 2, like I said, and it was also done in number 4. However, 1 and 2 did not dissolve the oil. So the big picture here is these are no's, no marks. So I'll just put an N for number 3 but it did dissolve the oil. And this one was a yes and a no. All right. So that's it from me, from my home lab. I hope you got an idea of what we were doing with that. Again, I shared the document, this lab document, in Google Classroom. Take a look at that, take a look at it, and I will be posting the reference sheet, probably in that lab handout, excuse me. It's going to be talking about the reference sheet, the liquid reference sheet, and I will be posting that. So you can take these values that I have here and compare that and figure out what the liquids were. Really a very important test for us to do in the lab, because I always caution you, we always use extreme safety in our lab at school, that you have no idea if I've placed in front of you water, or if I've placed in front of you vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. We have a couple up here that have no odor whatsoever. So which one's water, right? Because water's not going to have a flavor unless you put a drink packet into it. All right, you guys, stay safe. Still miss you. Hope you're doing awesome. We'll catch you next time.